recapping pirate radio activity from the night of Saturday, 10th of September 2022, through the following morning, Sunday, 11 September 2022. A lot of activity last night. Starting off with an UNID that was on 6920 and 6925 USB in the afternoon, starting at 2121 UTC, playing some old interval signals. First up, they played the Radio Sweden International interval signal, and I've got a recording of that starting now.
Radio Svezia de Stoccolma. Radio Svezia, Stockholm. Radio Svedries, Stockholm. Radio Sweden, Stockholm. Radio Svezia, Stockholm. Radio Svezia de Stoccolma. Radio Svezia, Stockholm. Radio Sweden, Stockholm. Radio Rossi, Stockholm.
They then QSY'd to 6925 USB, where they played at the old Radio Moscow interval signal and sign-on message. I've got a recording of that from 2135 UTC.
Broadcasting to the East Coast on 16, 19, 25, 500 meters. This broadcast begins daily at 23 hours Greenwich Mean Time on 14 frequencies. 17.70, 15.52, 15.42, 15.24, 15.10, 12.05, 12.03, 11.96, 11.92, 11.77, 11.75, 11.72, 11.71, and 0.60 megahertz. Transmitting in Radio Moscow's North American service to the East Coast, filters down at 04 hours Greenwich Mean Time.
All right, that was a recording from last night, 6925 USB. Someone played the old Radio Moscow interval signal and sign-on. Let's see. Next, Outhouse Radio was on. 6925. Let's see if I can find them here. So we had lots of activity last night. Here we are. 6925. Starting at 2157 UTC. They sent some SSTV, logged by myself, Bally Frank, Big Bad Fish Al, TRI International, Skipmunk, H. Smith 77, Mighty Quinn. And I've got a clip from Outhouse, not the best quality, at 22:29 UTC. Next up, we had Voice of Oz, which was relayed by TRI International, logged at 22:49 UTC on 69:25 AM by Skip Monk, Dave P., Connecticut Yankee, H. Smith 77, Flexoman 61, Refmo, TRI International, S. Green Street, Bally Frank, Just Greg, Radio Star, DX Winger, Big Bad Fish Al, Mighty Quinn, and Mount Intermod. I've got three short recordings of them. The first is at 22:59 UTC.
Welcome back, my friends, to the Voice of Oz that never ends. We'll be right back.
Second clip from 23:25 UTC.
Are you a QSL horn? Not a problem. For the detailed reception report to The Fox, shortwave at AOL. That's THEFOXSW, no spaces, at AOL.com. Or send your reports to the HF Underground. We want to hear from you.
And a final clip from 23:27 UTC.
This has been a parody production of The Fox, in conjunction with Sick Puppy Productions. Good night, everybody.
All right, and next we have two clips from EXP Radio. Soon as I can find them, here they are. They were logged on 68:20 AM, a somewhat unusual frequency down at the bottom of the 43 meter band, by Connecticut Yankee at 23:07 UTC. Also logged by Dave 524, Skip Muck, H. Smith 77, DX Winger, Bally Frank, Mighty Quinn, Big Bad Fish Al, Elburn DX, Radio Star, Dr. Strangelove, Mount Intermod, TRI International, Just Greg, Blubbly I should say, N3TEL, Flexorman again, Dave P., Skywaves, Refmo, Ray in France had them direct, Sigint, Bill Pa, William Hasig, Traveling Wave, Motown, and Lex in Texas. So here's a first short clip at 23:31 UTC.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to radio station EXP.
And a second clip at 23:35. Next up, WENO was on 6888 USB, logged by quite a few listeners. Big Al, Refmo, Dave 524, Sigint, Traveling Wave, H. Smith 77, Just Greg, Motown, William Hasig, Mighty Quinn, The Happy Wanker, A-Train Radio, Bally Frank, Ron Hunsiger, Big Bad Fish Al, Saint, and good old Sea Lord. And I've got a clip from WENO at 01:29 UTC.
So, you think rock music is boring? rock music on the radio waves. And WENO is for you. Yes. We've taken over the airwaves. No more boring rock and roll or music. And all that here at WENO, we strive for precise, mathematically correct music. Oh yeah. The perfect radio station. WENO shortwave. Notice the perfect sine wave. It's beautiful.
And I just see my mic was muted earlier. Sorry about that. Alright, and hopefully the mic is still good. Next up, Ball Smacker. Radio was on 6960 as usual, but in LSB mode, which was not usual. They came on at 0200 UTC. Let's drop the SSTV window here. Logged by Traveling Wave, Big Bad Fish Al, Dr. Strangelove, Dave P., Ron Hunsaker, Alley Cat. Ballsmacker himself chimed in. He says, trying LSB tonight and will do so for future encore broadcasts. Unfortunately, the audio is limited to about 3 kilohertz, but that's what we have for equipment for LSB. 1400 watts peak. New antenna under construction, should be on the air by October. Also logged by Mighty Quinn, who had a very good SSTV copy. SIGINT, N3TEL, Mount Intermod, WebQuaz, KG9YYZ, Longwire, Ballyfrank, Chris Lobdell, The Happy Wanker, Lex, Sealord, and Pigmeat chimed in as well. And we've got a short audio clip here.
Good evening, ham sandwiches. You are listening to Ball Smack Radio, 6960 AM, somewhere in the Northeast.
Next up, WDOG was on 6850 in narrow FM mode. They then switched to USB. Narrow FM's occasionally used. When signals are good, the audio quality is great. Otherwise, the audio quality is terrible. Logged by Alley Cat, Charlie Don't Surf, Refmo, and SIGINT. And I do have an audio recording from 0223 UTC in FM mode. You can hear what it sounded like.
This is WDOG. And I am your host, P.E. Magnetron. That's Professor P.E. Magnetron. And I'm sorry about your student loan.
All right, WDOG in somewhat rare narrow FM mode. Next, we've got two broadcasts from this morning. The first was Thunder Chicken Radio, which was also on, I'll recap this briefly, I don't have a recording. They were on last night on 4185 USB on the, call it the 73 meter band, just above the 80 meter ham band. Logged by Skip Muck, sending some SSTV images, which he copied. Elburn DX, who also got SSTV. Just Greg, SIGINT, Mighty Quinn with some SSTV, and Skywaves, more SSTV. Dave P, H. Smith, William Hasig, Dr. Strangelove, Ballyfrank, Traveling Wave, Blubbly, Motown, the Happy Wanker, Mount Intermod, Ron Hunsiger, Refmo, Canotic, and Alley Cat. Then they were on again this morning on 6925 in the 43 meter band USB mode, logged by TRI International at 1120 UTC. Also heard by H. Smith, Connecticut Yankee, Ballyfrank, Chris Lobdell, Ron Hunsiker, SIGINT, and myself. I copied them just near the end with their SSTV. And I've got a brief recording of them sending the SSTV as well. Let's see if we can do that decode. All right, that was Thunder Chicken Radio from 6925 USB this morning, 11th of September 2022. That clip was from 12:15 UTC. One final clip and broadcast from this morning. Redline Radio was relayed by TRI, I believe. And they were on 6925 AM at 12:31 UTC, logged by Chris Lobdell, as well as Hammerhead, H. Smith 77, TRI International, Bally Frank, Connecticut Yankee, Big Bad Fish Al, Sigint, Refmo, Beerus Maximus, myself, Skip Muck, and Kestrel. And I've got a very brief audio clip of an ID at 13:02 UTC.
You are listening to Redline Radio, 99.1 FM, Robbers Park.
All right, that was Redline Radio, and I believe that wraps things up for this afternoon. The summary of pirate activity from the night of 10th of September through the morning of the 11th of September 2022. Taking a quick check of the 43 meter band, there was some activity earlier. It's quiet now. I'm sure that will change as we get into the late afternoon and early evening. Until then, 73s, if you like these videos, you can subscribe on YouTube or follow on Twitch. Don't forget, as always, visit thehfunderground.com for the most complete and latest pirate and shortwave information. We're also on Twitter and Facebook if you do those things. Until then, 73.